I have had so much fun. This has just been so much fun. I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. So we're talking all about fur and fur ideas, not just for yourself, but gifts. And you guys, I just had a blast. I just had a blast executing. I had people who I said, okay, I'm going to make this for you. And they said, no, I want one. So I want to share this with you. And I really hope that maybe you can find something to make for yourself or maybe for others for gifts, because we can make a lot of really fun gifts. All right, so we're going to start with, forgive me, I usually don't wear this much fur, but anyway, like I said, we're just going to have fun for a minute. So the first thing we're going to make is we're going to make this photo. This photo is it's a fur poof. They're called poofs, and they're footstools is what they are. And they're perfect. I have several in my house. They're perfect, well, not fur until now, but they're perfect for, you can stack them. And when you stack them, you can put them away in the corner, and then when you have people, you can pull them out and you have more seats. So they can act as a seat, or they can act as like a footstool. I love these. I mean, I love these. I have these, all my kids, I love them. So, but they're not cheap. So I decided we could make one. So my sweetheart, the other thing I have is I have it under my desk in my office. So if I'm working, and I've been working a while, I can put my feet up on this. So this is made for my sweetheart because he said, I want one of those. And so I decided I would make it. But here's the coolest thing about making it. You can make it in the sizes that fit. Like, we've never been able to find him one because his space is small. He's got like a board on the back. This is way too long of a story. Anyway, you can customize them. So I did just that, and I want to show you how I did it. And I got some help from my upholstery guy. So the first thing I did is the foam. The foam makes all the difference, and you can definitely buy them. I don't know how cheaper you can buy them. The problem is the foam is just terrible, and they don't last very long. So when you do this yourself, you can pick out the foam that's nice. So you can go to an upholstery place. You can go to anything. And then first decide what the measurements are. Mine is 16 by 16, but only 12 high. Again, because that's what he wanted. So 16 by 16 by 12 high. So I had the foam cut. I found 3-inch foam. It's cheaper than if you try to get a cube. And there's no disadvantage. I made sure there's no disadvantage. So 16 by 16, my foam is 3 inches wide, so I obviously needed 4 of them. All right, so then, and they'll cut the foam for you. It doesn't cost any extra. My foam cost $50. And it didn't take a yard of fur, a yard of fur. So there you have it. It cost me $60. The yard of fur is $30 and $30. So $30 and $50 is $80. All right. So, but one thing he did tell me about was this pretty cool adhesive. So you'll want to get adhesive, and I know there's more than one kind. I don't even know what this is. It's Pro Stick 65. So spray adhesive. So you spray this side. You spray this side, and you let it sit for a minute, and then you put it together. So again, it doesn't matter how many layers. If you find foam and it's only an inch and it's inexpensive, just glue it all together until you get the height you want. But again, your quality in your foam I think is a big secret. All right, so you push that together, line up the edges, voila, you have a foam. Okay, so the next thing he told me now, so this will take you a yard, but you'll have leftovers. So I'm going to show you the coolest thing about this. Remember that faux fur is washable. So as a footstool, get it all dirty, it doesn't matter. You take it off, throw it in the washing machine, do not put it in the dryer. So my upholstery guy said to do this. So this is what I made. And I actually used fabric 4841. The only reason I'm telling you that is so that you can see what kind of fabric I used. You want something tightly woven, and you're going to make a little pillow type thing. Okay, so, and at the top it's going to be elastic. So just measure a square for the bottom, sew it together. Obviously it doesn't matter how bad it is. You can see that these are my 4 things. I've already glued them together. And then when you go to put them on, this is going to be the bottom. So you just, push that to the corners. You've got elastic at the top. So this is going to do two things. Number one, it's going to be the bottom, because you said you don't want a fur bottom. Fur bottoms, they'll slip. This fabric is a woven, and it won't slip. And then you just pull this up. So keep in mind, mine is 16, 16, 16, 16. So that's 2 yards, 16, 16, roughly. I did a yard of elastic. So once I just cut the edges, you can see like 2 inches higher than I needed them to be. Mine's 12, so I cut them 14. And then I just put the elastic through the top. Then you come along, and this, once you sew this, which you can see, my sides are 12 by 16. And I just cut 1 and then 2. You'll have to have 2 seams for your side seams. And then you cut a square at the top. And I've shown you how to sew fur. And you literally just slip this over. This is so cool. But he said the base will make it slip a little easier. And it'll just be easier to get it off and on. I just love this. I've had so much fun. I can't believe I made this. And my sweetheart is going to get it tomorrow. We don't wait till Christmas. We get too excited about the other stuff. Okay, so just pull it down. You don't need to hem this, because remember, this is the part of the fur that's, you know, hangs over. So you can't even see the bottom. I mean, that's the bottom, but you can't even see it because it just touches the bottom. I love it. Okay, so there's my poof. You can see how strong this adhesive is. It holds it really good. This is really, really firm. And you can pick what you want. So now you have leftovers. So this is all the fun stuff you get to do with the leftovers. And I just made a sampling of this so I could see how it would gather. So the first thing I did, if you have a golfer in the family, like, oh wait, I'm not going in order. I better go in order. My editor will kill me. Okay, wait a minute, sorry. If you have a golfer in the family, we'll get to that. So the next thing I did is I made these fur cuffs. And so I want to show you a couple tops where you can see these fur cuffs. But they're attached. So you guys know I've made lots of t-shirts. And so here you can just take them off. And you can switch them around. And I'll show you how this is very easy to do. And then this next picture is the same thing. It's just another cuff. I mean, because they're all over the place. I mean, they're really popular, and you can see the prices. Some are very, very expensive. So I took a couple pictures while I was making these cuffs. If you look at the first picture, you can see that I took 2-inch wide elastic. So the cuffs are 5 inches wide. And so I took 2-inch pieces of elastic, and you can see where I sewed them on. I left a little gap in the middle. You definitely want them at the bottom and at the top of the cuff, because otherwise it'll pull away. And you sew it right on the edge, and then the next picture you can see I'm pulling it around and just sew it right together. So you're not going to see the elastic, but the elastic has a little bit of room to grow. And you want to do this a 1-to-1. So just wrap this around your wrist, 5 inches wide, 10 inches long. You can see it makes great scraps. And you can just pull it over your wrist and then just tuck your shirt down in, and you have faux cuffs. So you can do black on black. You can, mix and match. They're really fun. And aren't they adorable? I had made this vest before, but I just decided to wear it. You've seen the vest before. So you see, they're really easy to pull over because your hand isn't that much bigger than your wrist. And then you just poke it in down below. All right, that is great for leftovers. Okay, then the next thing is golf cover. I was out of control here. I got too excited. This is our average golf cover. Boring. This is our fur golf cover. Is this adorable? I'll show you how I did this. I mean, this is really a poof, but it's a mini poof is all it is. It's got a hat, just a round part, and round is actually a little easier so than square. On my square, I actually rounded the corners, but you can't really tell because the cube makes the round square. This is so easy to sew. I cannot tell you how easy it is to sew. Okay, so then what I did is I put a little dart in my golf cover. So you can decide how tall you want to make it. I think mine's 10 inches. And then what I did is because in consulting my expert golfer in our family, if you don't have something on here, you don't want this head to fly off. So I used black fold over elastic. I just made it smaller. I sewed it in the one seam there is. So you just sew it in and make it small, and you can see it just keeps it on there, but it still is, it expands when you go to take it off. Is that the cutest ever? So this takes like 10 inches long, or you know, you can make them shorter. I think that's so cute. If you want to, you could put numbers up here. You could sew, embroider. You could, you know, my job is to give you the ideas. Okay, then the next thing is the scarf we've done before. I showed you the scarf before. These wrap scarves, they're adorable. This one is, and I've done it, but I'm just going to give you the numbers again. This one is 25 inches twice. You want to make a seam at center back because you want the fur to be right on each side. I didn't even line this. And then halfway down, you just put a little slit. And then what happens is you put this through, this can come through this side. And these are really popular and really cute. This fur we don't have left. We've got the fur, we've got both the vertical fox and the mosaic fox. But you could do this with anything. And then the next picture I wanted to show you was a stole. Now, Gorski, Montreal is, you know, these really, really high-end furs. Like, they have a throw for like $48,000. You know, I mean, it's real, it's just real expensive. You guys know that. But anyway, but they have the stole, so I thought it's the same idea, it's just bigger. I did not do that, but I just thought it was really, really fun to think about. And then this is what I wanted to show you. And I know you can't necessarily see all this, but I know we're taking way too long. This is supposed to be quick, but there was just so many ideas I had. It's 251, it's Geraldine, it's our new pattern, and I did just the front in fur. And the sleeves and the back are just knit because the pattern calls for that. So it's really great to do something like this and just do a fur in the front. All right, and then the next picture, we see a headband. And a headband, you can just go right around. You don't need to put elastic in it. The angle of your head, if you just take a tape measure and literally measure that you want it lower in the back and higher in the front, and just take that number and make it that number, it will just sit on your head and it won't go anywhere, because this started as a headband. But then I decided, look at the next picture, I decided I loved her hat, and so guess what? I made myself a hat, and I adore it. I love it, absolutely love it. But then the last picture is a throw. And my family, for whatever reason, loves throws. So look at this, you guys. I just love it. I'm gonna cuddle up against it. I just love it. This is the vertical fox. I did 2 yards. 2 yards at 72 inches times 60 inches wide. I took a knit. 4768 is the fabric I used on the back. And I literally cut just 2 layers the same, sewed them right sides together, flipped them out, and sewed up a little pocket. I just left open a little area. And my gosh, okay, so I showed it to my kids were over here the other day, and I was showing it to them to see if they liked it or what should I change about it. You know, they always help me critique, and they all wanted one. So now I have to make a few more, but they had requests. They wanted this, they wanted that, you know, all kinds of stuff. So this throw, I just think it's just, these are great Christmas gifts. And not only, I don't even think it's so much the gift. I mean, it is. The gifts are great, but I think they love the fact that I'm making it. My sweetheart loves the fact that I would make him an ottoman, a poof, whatever you want to call it, to put under his desk. So anyway, find something you love to make. This fur is perfect for it. It's all on sale. And happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.